Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking a bit about how I want to do things. Is there like a... Yeah, so I've got different things I want to do with this today, but I think the main thing is actually doing this stuff here, but I also really want this to work because there is it's a polishy thing, I suppose. So scene, view, window, and so we have all of these windows doing their thing. This stuff should be like x, rect.x, y, rect.y, like that. We have our z value already. I guess feasibly I could put setters in for this, so the day that we get the enhanced syntax for this, the better. But for now, this will do. So like that. So now the children can all modify this stuff if they need to. I guess that this version is probably... Does this version have a title bar bit? It does, so we probably want to actually have a title message. Title equals... And then we'll sort of do the same thing, so... Title... Just like that. Ah, I've got something in my eye. Sorry. I see? I think I can see. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully you're having a wonderful evening wherever you are. This is infuriating. Not good stream material either. Okay. So, if I've got the title here like this, then what I want to do is probably make this taller and say that this is like that's probably slightly more than that though. Like that, and then we'll do oh no. Hello the Stoppable Force. That's a cool name. This is the wrong one. It should be the other one. This is the background. Like that. Here. And what we want to do is be like rect.w minus title.count times 8 divided by 2 and minus 8, minus 9. And display foreground to test with and see what happens. Log window. Like that. That doesn't seem to have done anything different, which is a little disappointing. Oh, I know why. There. So it's printing it there, which is not very helpful. Oh, that's because I'm a fool. And I'm using this, which should actually be no, that's correct. It should be the window width. Is that right? Oh, I'm just not doing the full calculation. There we go. So that's that bit, and then this just needs to be 10. And then just a little wider on either side. It's 4 plus 8. That should get all the sides. There. Now we have the window looking like an actual window sort of would. So then we need to do like this bit here. It would be nice to have a few utility functions for checking if we're within a space, but I can't be bothered right now. So, versus view status bar like this. Mouse, we do this bit. And we go here. So if mouse left dot just pressed and all of that stuff. Like that. Let's widen this up. And then here we have rect W minus x and width, y and height, don't need this stuff. Then held equals true. If held, then held is equal to mouse left dot down. Pretty sure that's the right one. So last mouse equals position. Var diff is equal to pause minus last mouse, and then x is equal to x plus diff.x, and same for y. Import input for like that, like that. Not quite, but oh, it's actually because that's not correct. It's going to be slightly out because that's now -10, and this would be -4, and this would be +8. Oop. Ah, and there we go, drag and drop. So now you can just put that there. That's cool. I've never had to do that before. And then you can just keep playing. And then if you decide you don't want that there, you can just move it out. Ooh. Ah, that's a bug. I guess that's a clipping bug? Must be. Right. Let's go file a thing. Using offsets and clipping regions and x less than 0 underflows to the previous row. Can I get a screen of this? It would be this. Real quick. Like that. Off screen. This could lead to serious crashes. And then we label this as a bug. And I feel like I'm actually going to have to fix that before I release this game properly, but it's fine for now. This is still really cool. I've never had to implement this before, and that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So that's nice. Obviously I could style it a little better, but it's not the end of the world if it's different. And then we can do that. It would be good if we could remember where we put that window. Maybe we can do that real quick. Preference, because we could put it on the class. That's a way of doing it. We might want to store that in a global settings thing in the future. Is equal to rect by copy. Oh, but that's tricky though, because now you can't do that globally like that. You'd have to store them per thing. So what you'd need is if pref is like this. Because then you get that to be like that. And then we would need, I feel like there's a gap missing here where we need to know like what kind of window this is, and I'm not sure that we'll have that information in this abstract version of the class. Log, I guess. Okay. So what I might do then is put a on drop thing as a hook, and we'll just do on drop whatever, and then have a static store pref label like that, and then this can all go in here. Label, because then for the log window, I can do the on drop store pref log, and then I need a restore pref, which is going to be restore pref label rect is equal to pref label if there isn't a preference thing, then we can init it like that. If we don't have it for this thing, we can also just do how would you do it? You'd basically say well, I suppose you'd just do nothing, right? So if there's a preference to restore, then you restore it, otherwise you don't do anything. And then log window, you kind of do all that stuff, and then you can do restore pref. Like that. So you open this up and it goes here. If we put it up there and we close it, it should open there again. Perfect. And then if I bring it down here and I close it, then we're good. Oh, that's cool. I could have probably put that preference stuff in the global store. That would have also been viable. But I'm not trying to be super duper clean. I mean, I do have that system and it's providing a lot of overhead, so actually making use of it isn't a terrible plan. But this is quite nice. Ideally, you'd make it so that you could expand the edges, but I'm okay for the moment. We do want a little check cross button though, I think. That would be nice. And then I think that would be kind of able to call it done. So here, the easiest way to do that is actually to do X. And you do minus 10. And you may get a different color. Well, they're not that color. There. So we can do different things here. So one of those things would be the position thing. So if the mouse is greater than rect W minus 10 and then less than rect W, and if it's the Y minus and then Y, I guess that's just 0 now. Oh yeah, because the thing is wrong. That's fine. This is x plus width. X plus width. Unless the actual colours aren't distinctly different, which is possible, so... But no, that doesn't seem to be it, so... Let's put this up here. Hover x equals true. Well, I suppose that, yeah, true. Hover x equals false. To do check click. Our color equals pound4. Color equals pound5. Like that. So now we just need to figure out why we're not getting it in the right place. So if the position is get x plus 10 and your width, that looks like it should be correct. I mean, so I'm a little confused about why it's not. So let's do this, and we'll do x, y, x plus width, y plus height. So I'm definitely in range, I think. Although the Y value is a little strange. So if I do this bit here, just to check that we're getting the click, system.print. -10 to y. So 390 is there. That should be in range of both of them, so what's up? Positive x is this, and this, and this, and this. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. Oh. That'll do it. Ding. Yeah. Just didn't finish doing the conversion. Print, that goes away, that goes away. Now we have an X button. And what we should do here is actually dispatch the close event, I think. Versus status bar. Like that. That's trickier because we don't actually know if we're open or not. So I guess we would need like a window ID or something. I will leave it for now because it's the only window I've got to do. Handle window IDs for closing and opening stuff like this. That is not an approach that scaled well. But in theory, if we do this, then we do that, we close it. And then we can open it again. And then we can close it. Ah. Weird little windowing system that I'm probably not going to use for the rest of the jam. More featureful windowing system. Nice, nice. Okay. So, on the to-dos, that can now come down here. Day 3. Like that. So now we'll make a drone. Entities, player. So this is very similar. Oh. Okay. We won't have a melee attack for this thing. I don't think it needs target groups. We'll pass in this, and I will need to come up with a thing for that. We don't need the Dijkstra map or anything. And for the moment, it won't do its own stuff there. We'll just return action.none. So, logic. And we'll do down here. This entity. And then update CTX player like that. This can come up here. This is entity player. Yeah. And then there's some other stuff that we need to do here where it's like overwrite true and what we're basically saying. So the tricky thing with this one is that we run this code twice, but we don't know which order it will run in necessarily. So the two things are going to just constantly overlay each other. So what you kind of need is like a a vision map that you can like store separately from the map data and apply on top, I think, and have slices of that you can put on top. And then you'd have to just apply that all afterwards. I think that might be the right way to do it. I just need to figure out the way to do it exactly. Like, basically just decouple the sources of that data, I think. So what you'd want to do is probably not have all of that in this logic exactly. This is sort of the wrong place for this now. But, no, this eye is playing up. What is wrong today? What you'd do is basically say like light map or something. And that'll be a map. We'll need the elegant algorithm in a moment. But we basically do light map elegant.pair start is equal to visible. So we basically now, rather than storing that stuff in the main map, we start putting it into this thing instead. So then you do the, well, I suppose that what you would do here is actually yeah, you'd say this has been hidden and the decision as to whether or not you've seen or not seen a tile isn't made here. Essentially. But it's made when you start applying that to the visual data. So now the start is actually the position for both of those. We don't care if that's there. And then like that. Versus entities player So then we can do that. Because now we don't care about this thing, right? We can get rid of that. And I suppose you could even optimize this by not even recording the stuff that's hidden. You only store the stuff here that's actually visible, and then you can just easily apply that to what's on top. So you could do that. If visible, so then what you do renderer. Well, we need an extra bit of logic here actually, that is like class compress light map. Static update, context, so then what you need to do is go var map equals ctx.map, and then you do light maps, and then you do for light map in light maps. And then within that you do for key in light map dot keys. Pause equals elegant dot unpair key. And then what you can do is go map pause and visible is equal to visible, like that. And I suppose that actually what you'd have to do is you lose like all of the good benefits of doing shadow casting by doing this, because you basically have to iterate through every tile in the map first. For tile in ctx.map.values, and then just do the same thing and be like hidden or unknown. Var unknown is equal to this, equal to, and then if not unknown, so that kind of sucks. But I'm hoping it's reasonably fast still, because it's just loops. I guess the tricky thing here is just how you get the light maps. So probably we do this. We go layer, light map, and then the same thing for the drone. Drone, like that. This assumes that we have a drone though, so we do that bit first. If drone, then light maps.add drone light map. Like that. So now we get this. If I did this now, I need to go to the generator though. Hooks. Oh, it's here. Compress light maps, I think. Compress light map. Yeah, that's fine. Because I got rid of this parameter. Tilemap does not implement yep, that's true. Values. Yeah, that's because that should be tile now. Keys. That's a weird one, because that should exist. I guess if it doesn't exist yet, because we haven't moved, that might be a problem. Yeah, that didn't work clearly. Oh, is it just always the... Okay, so that's clearly not working correctly. It's strange that it's like that though. So why is it like that? Everything's unknown. But it doesn't... Okay, so there's different things here. Oh, idiot. This needs to return. There we go. Okay, so let me remove the print. Like that. And then we'll put a update vision. Range -1. And then entities drone. Now 5 is already probably more powerful than I want. Maybe we'll make that 4. And then we'll just put that in the world for the moment. Drone entity.new. Drone, we'll make this like 15-ish. Ooh. Import core action for right, because now you get to see everything that's over there, regardless of which way it's facing. So that looks like that works. It just doesn't look particularly impressive, so it might be nice to implement. I suppose that's a way of doing it. We could implement that differently. Like it could be a separate window. I need to think about that one. It would require us to hold, like we'd have to keep this same infrastructure though, because we would basically just want to apply that light mapping, but not on the same map. You'd have two copies of the map to do this to, which is actually worse because you have to copy the map. I guess. But strictly speaking, that bit worked. I just need to fix the overall issues there. So yeah, just to prove the point here, you can see the fact that this section is actually larger. Well, not larger. This bit is marked as visible, even though we shouldn't be able to see it from here where the view cone is. And that remains true even if we're over here. So the drone is casting its own light values out, which is nice. Tempted to say that that should probably be diamond shaped rather than like based on Manhattan distance. But I suppose the squares will do for now. I mean, do I like coding? I mean, I am coding a game, so yes. But I imagine that's probably not a real person, so. Maybe you are, I don't know. Oh, thank you for the follow. A little bit. It's just the abruptness, I suppose. It's okay. No, I guess you can stun the bot. That's not great. And then you die. Maybe another time. Logic. Oh, my stream bot caught up. Maybe I'll check it out once the 7-day roguelike challenge is finished. Ah. Now I'm stuck. So you probably shouldn't be able to just stun things indefinitely, that's bad. Okay. Okay, so we go to the actions and we're like this. What defines if something is a target? It's just if it has stats, I suppose. But okay, so we don't want that to have any statistics. I don't think. No, we do though, because it needs to get hit by stuff. But it shouldn't be. I don't know, maybe there's a reason why you'd want to stun the bot yourself in the end. I'll leave it open for now. It's not the end of the world, just I don't recommend it. Get started, like that. So that puts us at drone applies its own light mapping distinct from player. Yep. So then you can see both separately. We now just need to be able to switch between the two. Okay. So what we need here is this to have like an active flag. If active, do that. Otherwise, action.none. So then I just need a thing to swap between them, I suppose. As like, okay, so vim scene play input. It wouldn't be an action, I don't think. Or maybe it would. Maybe it would, because we can do some other stuff around that. I need to think about that one. Swap.firing. Player.active is equal to player. Not active, and the same thing with the drone, which we'll have to fetch. Like that. So then the thing that we have to do here is actually figure out which one of these we are. So if player active then current is equal to player. Otherwise, current is equal to drone. I suppose then the thing is that we probably don't need to have two flags. We can literally do it here. So if we're basically always the player unless we're not active and drone exists. Like that. That one has to be player though because it's not the same. I guess we can kind of do away with this condition, but maybe we'll come back to that. For now, we'll leave it in. So I need to go to inputs. Hello, Jay. How are you doing this evening? I wish the keyboard had more big keys for stuff. Ooh, that's unpleasant. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, there's a reason why you need both though, because you got this thing. Yeah, the field of view is coming along quite well, I think. It looks a lot better. I've just been making some changes to it, so I'll show you that in a moment. Get entity by tag. Player. And then player. I think that's good enough. Drone does not implement player. Yeah, so at the moment I'm controlling here. I can see the things behind this wall up to a certain point, But I've now got this drone thing here, which can see its own range of stuff, which is well, is it 3 tiles in every direction, it looks like. So hopefully I can do that, and apparently not. I was hoping I'd be able to switch between the two. That apparently didn't work, so. Scenes. Interestingly, that's not responding to me pressing that button at all. Oh, it's because I'm using the wrong key. It helps to do the right thing. Although the shifts are a bit weird if I remember correctly, because it might need to be left shift. There we go. So now I control the drone. Look at that. And then I can swap back, and now I'm controlling me again. And if I just leave myself like this and control the drone, I die. And then it breaks. Right, so here the challenge is if player and well, actually no, this whole block here should be done differently. It's basically if the player exists in the world, do all of this stuff. No point doing it if we've actually failed and died. I just need to change that opening bit so it actually applies the light map properly. So vim generator update vision. Vom light map is equal to this, and drone 4 like that, and then it would need to be what was it? Compress light map zone. Not quite there. Oh. So maybe I need to do that stuff when we're creating those things, maybe? It's a bit awkward if because there's no on add hook for an entity, so maybe that's a thing I'll need to do in the future. I mean, we can sort of cheat this out. So then logic. Come on, fat-fingered. Because we don't actually need to return it as a thing. We can basically do entity light map is what a light map like that. There we go. Why does that seem to count as an action? That shouldn't be happening. That's really strange. Vim, entity T's player. Oh, I see. No, that makes sense because basically like the turn comes around to you and then you change and then it suddenly flips mode, so now it's not waiting. So I need to like swap the turn order of things. Well, there's actually a better way of doing it, but so what you would do is there a better way of doing it? Because what you'd want is to do it, there's like because I'm using an energy system, strategy director even. When do we gain energy? Right at the start. So gain energy. You could basically mess with the actor priority instead. Scenes play. So when we swap the thing here, we basically need to go if player is active, then oh, that still doesn't work though, because it would still loop through everything behind it. Oh, that's tricky. There needs to be like a meta structure, I think. To handle player turns or something. I thought this would be a sticky challenge. The other way of fixing this is just to actually make it take a turn to change from one to the other. I didn't know if I wanted to do that, but it would be the smoother way of fixing this problem. So yeah, we could just leave it as is and you basically get that for free. Kind of. So the problem at the moment is it's actually one-sided. If I do that once, twice, the second time round nothing changes because we're past that point in the loop. But then you do it a third time and it happens again. So like every other change costs you a turn. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. Maybe, okay, so how about we do it this way? I can sort of reason this out slightly better if I change it. Drone. If I put this up here like that, I also want to string this. Player entity.new. Like that. So if I put the drone first in the turn order, does that change how this behaves? We go 1, and then 1. And it costs us a movement to become the drone, but then coming back from being the drone is free. And that makes sense, I think. Because like maybe there's like a little connection lag time, and so it takes a moment. But you can instantly put it down to start walking. Oh. And I escape. Because then you could do that, and now you can basically use the drone as like a blocking shield or something, I suppose. I don't think we account for other entities for vision purposes though, which is fine. But it means I can now send the drone over to spy on them. Which is fun. And I mean, that's not the intention. The idea is that they will respond, but not as quickly to the drone. So you kind of, well, no, maybe it should be less, like infinitely less detectable. At the moment, nothing. They don't check for the drone at all because I've only just put it in. It's that sort of thing I was trying to figure out is what should happen with that. I was sort of initially thinking that it would like respond but slower, so you kind of got some time to sneak it around. But it feels OP if it's not responded to at all. So maybe there's like a minimum range or something where it matters. There's also a slight problem, which is that you're not meant to start with the drone out necessarily. You're meant to kind of carry it and then deploy it and then pick it up. Maybe. So this solution of putting it in the turn order before doesn't work quite right, because there's no way to insert it mid-run. Which is a bit tricky. So the easiest solution would be just to make the swap always take an action. I don't know how I feel about that. But we're like almost there, I think, with this. Yeah, I don't want to rely on this being the way that it is, because that's temporary. I guess what we could do is what if when we swap drone.priority is just immediately like that. Yeah, not quite. One, two, three, four. It kind of slows it down because you basically make them both high alert things straight away. Which is something. Not sure how I feel about that either. Because manipulating priority is a bit strange, but I suppose you are at maximum priority at that point, so you kind of get that benefit. The thing that I want to prevent is just like skipping over other people's turns. So do I have a different way of doing this? No, I don't. This wasn't really how this system was designed. Because you want it to be instant because you don't want to penalize the player for using the drone quite so much. Because losing a turn or two could be a serious thing. But it's just whether or not I can change that without whether I can change that state of affairs without having to seriously hack the engine. Because messing with this call code is dangerous. I guess we could have a version of this where we just add to an arbitrary point in the list, and that would kind of do it. But there's no concept of turn ordering, I suppose. And that's kind of the problem. You just have everything. So maybe that's what we need to change. Because what you'd need is query position entity. If entity is Hey Ben, how's it going? It's good to see you. Get entity by ID. Procrastinating as always. Yep. I know that feeling. And then so I suppose that rather than like yeah, I've got different options. It could be like add and swap or insert at a position. And actually having a swap entity thing is not a terrible idea. Maybe. And then var index A. Entities dot I do actually expose this stuff, so maybe I don't have to do it in here. It could be a literal hack. Because I could actually do that over here instead. This would be awful, but I'm going to do it. Because instead, what you can do is say var a index is equal to ctx dot, well, what is it called here? World.active.entities.index of player and drone, and then world.active.entities.swap a index b index. And that works. Now the action is free. That is... I think that's okay, because you never skip a turn. You're just changing who's where in the turn order between the two of you, but the pointer for the active turn doesn't move, and I think that's okay. Now I just need an indicator to show which one's in control, which I can do by color without too much difficulty, although it's not my favorite thing to do. That's true. 70RLs are allowed to be hacky. It's not terrible. Interface-wise, this is not actually the worst solution. I don't need to have this functionality in the framework all the time. I've never needed it before. I don't normally care. This is a unique case. And the interface is available to me to modify this list. You're just not supposed to without knowing what you're doing, because there's a whole bunch of logic to handle that for you. But this is a special case, so it's allowed. I could codify it by making it an action that modifies game state. That might be better, but I'm okay with this for the moment. It's a bit of a weird one. But that's good. This is still good. This is strong stuff. So views renderer. So now down here, what we can do is anti-active display.foreground. Else, if this is a drone entity, we can do that. So, oh, I need to change how that works though. Do I have the player before this point? I do. Yeah, so now the color moves, you see? It'd be good if I had a different color to hold it in, even so, just so it doesn't blend in. I haven't really got an established palette so much, but I'm happy with how that's going at least. Vim palette. Because I need a blue. Well, okay, let's overhaul the palette real quick. Terminal colors. Blue, magenta, cyan, and white. So black is obvious. We can do color, hex, hash. I think that, yeah, I've set that to actually be 040404, like that. Okay. So what I want really is just a quick way of designing a palette where I can hold multiple palettes together. I don't want a generator, I just want to hold 6 colors at once and see them side by side. Don't know if there's a tool that will do what I want. I might have to build one, which is awful. I'm not going to build that now, but in the future. Fine, just give me an actual color picker. Okay, so I need a red. No. That's pretty good. PB0101. I want a green. Zero 079300, and then a yellow, which will it's an art that I've never really tried before. I tend to use someone else's palette, but I thought I would mix it up this time around. So I don't want like pure yellow, I want to bring it back a bit. That's a nice one. I don't know if these are cohesive though, that's the thing. I don't know if these will look good together. It's just, it seems like a nice, each one individually seems nice for me. So maybe that's fine. Yeah, exactly. That's usually what I end up doing. So that was that one, and then the magenta, there's basically no way to make magenta not sort of garish. That's not too bad though. And then I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Okay. So. Yeah, and then there's a few other ones. I'm not using these anymore, so orange, like that. I actually liked the purple, so I'm actually going to keep the purple, even though it's not part of this palette exactly. But then I can get rid of those, and very little should really change. But now that G and the red, those look okay together. I think that's okay. So then what I should do is come over here, make this PAL. I can't remember what the indexes for everything are. At the moment, yeah, that's more for debugging. But it'll probably end up staying. It's bad practice, generally, to rely solely on colour to deliver information. But I haven't got text yet, or other interface things to indicate what that is right now. So that's where we are. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 is a nice blue. Darker grey. 0, 1, 2, 3. I think I'm using this one. Don't think I'm using PAL 2 anywhere at the moment. Four. Yeah, because if you're not careful, you end up in this sort of situation where these two colours are not actually high contrasting enough. So if you're not careful, someone, especially with someone with colour blindness, may not be able to pick these out properly. Or if the screen brightness is low, they might not be able to do it. I mean, if I do that on my screen, it definitely isn't easy to do. Yeah, I'm going to change out that blue colour though. I wouldn't mind doing some sort of animation system. Blue. Just to sort of make it pop that they have spotted you and that you should be concerned. But I don't know if I'll have time. I don't have as much time this time around, unfortunately. See, that's a better contrast, but it's harder to read on the black. So I think this actually has to be a very pale blue. Maybe. Almost that. So here someone might not be able to tell the difference between the like light greys, but I think that's good because I think that's fine. You can kind of see it change as you do that. Although now it's not clear which one is being selected, which is not so good. Like I can't tell which one I'm supposed to pay attention to without knowing that it's the purple one. The other thing I was thinking about was whether I wanted this to be a 4-directional or 8-directional game. And I am tempted to make it partially both. Like the drone could move in 8 directions, but you can't or something. Although that feels a bit weird. The only thing is that I don't know how best to represent 8-way controls on a keyboard, because I don't have a numpad. That's a lot harder. So yeah. Yeah, but a lot of keypads don't have a home and page up, page down thing either. So, I don't know. It's not great. The keyboard is not the right thing for this unless you have a numpad. At least that's my opinion. But yeah. Yeah, so you can move the log window, hide it, and it'll remember where you put it for this game session. And I don't know if I need it, but I kind of wanted to do it, so yeah. I did spot a bug, an engine bug, while implementing it, so I'm paying the price. So yeah, if you scroll it off screen, you can see the text coming through the other side, which is not supposed to happen. So I will probably have to issue a new version of Dome before I release this, or just prevent this from being scrolled off the screen, maybe? That's probably the smart way of doing it, but there's definitely a bug that could happen where if I do that, you could potentially cause the game to crash. So maybe not, but there's a risk. Because that's memory underflow behavior, or buffer underflow, I suppose, which is concerning. But yeah, you can kind of have it, because I want the movable windows. I like them. They're fun. Completely unnecessary, but fun. It's part of the aesthetic of the game, I suppose, that I'm aiming for. QEZC. Oh, I suppose so. Yeah, I could get on board with that. I'd have to try it. But I'm not opposed to that. That's not terrible. I'm not personally used to 8-directional controls, so it would be a bit weird for me designing a game for it, but maybe this is the one. Where are we? Hello, I think we have a new couple of people in the channel. Welcome to my stream. So those things exist. Yeah, sticking with 4-way is simpler, since I'm already there. Oh, thank you so much for following. I hope that you're having a wonderful evening and that you've been enjoying watching me code. I'm tempted to put this as higher priority. I'm sort of on, I don't have rooms, so doors doesn't make much sense yet. But doors actually is not really doors, it's something else. It's actually change FOV from using solid and use blocks site as a separate flag. Generator. Like this, solid. Because you can have solid things that don't block vision, which is what this would capture. This one, for example, is the test case for that. You may have noticed when I run the game at the moment, the bottom corner doesn't render, this corner here, and that's because the goal square is actually blocking the field of view to this corner, I think. And this should fix that. The question is, did I do it as plural? No. But yeah, now you can see that that corner is now visible. And solid. I'm worried that the guards are still hitting each other. They're not supposed to. So what I could do here is also, just to use a few extra colours for fun, view renderer, so actually it's here. So if ctx.parent objective color is equal to scene, display.foreground, otherwise it's the PAL3, color is equal to scene, PAL9 probably, otherwise PAL3. Yeah, that was actually a good guess. I wanted it to be green, but that's nice. Just a little feedback that it's done. Okay. Then to do, so yeah, that can now come down here. Items is probably next. Although, it is, okay, so it's 9 o'clock now. What I might do is take a 5-10 minute break and then come back, power through for another 50 minutes and then be done for the day. Well, more like 40 minutes. See if we can get like a smoke grenade or something in. That'd be fun. There's actually a lot there, so we probably won't get quite that far. But yeah, please stick around. I will be back in 5-10 minutes. See you in a bit. Okay. Good interlude. Let's get my chat back on screen even. Yeah, a bit of an interesting discussion going on in the Dome Discord, so I got a bit sidetracked. Okay, so I'm probably not going to get a full implementation of this yet. So I just kind of want to puzzle my way through what I require for this to work. Smoke grenades, in particular, require a couple different things. Because we need to be able to select an item to use based on capability and inventory. Because if we don't have it, we can't do it. Select a target square for use. Cause a lingering environmental effect, which blocks vision, and then ensure AI responds accordingly. Because if we can't do all of that, we can't throw smoke grenades. And I have done this sort of stuff in the past, just it requires some additional infrastructure. And I'm not sure if I'm ready to start pulling that in entirely. Although it's not as difficult because some of that is already here. It's just issues. So, and we might be able to lift it slightly. Okay. maybe that's the thing that we think about, is just whether or not I could try and make the front end selection interface based on range. I did like all of this stuff at Cartomancer, so I have the code for it. Oh crap, actually, I need to go again real quick. I just spotted that. Let me go and plug in the battery. Okay, now we're back. For real this time. So as I was saying, I have a bunch of this logic hashed out already. But I think that I may have over-systemed it. So when you look in the parcel example, for example, I basically started bringing the game selection logic out into this thing. Which handles what the viewer's up to while you're selecting stuff. And then, so basically I turned the scene into a state machine. I don't know if I have other things that make that necessary here. Right, so I basically just, so we could do that. Which might be good anyway, because it would allow us to do other rich interactive stuff going forward. So implementing that bit might be the first step, and then we'll sort of finish it off. Okay. Drone with alternate FOV, safe swapping, and good palettes. With safe swap and palettes and block site. There. So what we're going to do for this bit is range, we're going to call it real quick. Not sure if my chat screen is working correctly. There we go. So welcome to the stream, Ninatella. Welcome. Construct new. What's that saying about like everything can be solved with another layer of indirection? Well, here we go. Because then basically what you end up doing is you say all of this stuff can only happen when we're in the play state, like that. Anything else? So if nothing else and we do that, then we can do play state dot new well this. And then we can do state equals like that, and that gives us an elegant way of changing state later. Where does the state come from though? Is that a scene thing? So it's a canonical thing that the framework supports, just not in it. I guess that technically we would do that instead, because then you're basically saying like change the state please. I might leave that there but not use it right away. Of course, the actual change state bit, that might need to actually be kept. That stuff's all there. Oh. Right. No, I understand now. I understand because this returns this. There we go. So that's all retained, the same functions. It's just that now we can change it. So we don't have to worry about accidentally moving the player in the middle of some other activity that is happening within the UI layer, but not the game layer. It's kind of weird, this architecture, because it's kind of two parallel game loops going on, and then they're sort of communicating back and forth. But it works. And it allows some very powerful things, I think, so. I'll definitely need to pull some of that stuff into the scene and make it easier to start using. I'd also like to just make the, just everything needs to be a bit quicker to get up and running in this structure, so I don't have to do this every time. But that's the point of this project, is to figure out what I want. So that the next game is better. Because now we can have class selector. Well, yeah, there's different things here. We could have like a state for selecting stuff. And we might want to do that bit there. This. Right. So this one does a bunch of other things. Because it has an onEnter function. onEnter. So we're basically saying when we start being in this state, do something. Grabbing the player is always a good idea. In this case, what we want to do is basically generate, well, actually, there's some interesting extras into this. We don't know, I guess we'll call this range selector state, because the point of this one is that we don't pick a, we're not picking a character this time around, we are picking a spot in the world, specifically, and based on range. We still need some way to pass stuff in. I don't think I have any, like, arguments that I can pass in, which is a problem. That is a problem. Well, actually, no, that's not true. We can basically do that here. Tile list. So what we can do here is basically go for dy in minus range to range like that. If dx plus dy is greater than range, well, the absolute is greater than the range, then continue, we don't want it. Otherwise, tile list is equal to .add player.position plus vec.new dx dy. And this gets us everything that's around us. And then we can basically say something to the effect of yeah, you basically end up communicating through the store to any visuals. So selection, handle mouse or keyboard input. So selection is equal to player.pause. Because then we can basically co-opt this stuff. And go, because now what we have, well, we can basically say, here is our position in the world that we are selecting. Move us by some amount. So selection is equal to selection plus, nope, like that. So fast destination is equal to Destination. I was just trying to see if I could Vim my way through making that a bit easier, but I could not. Still learning. It's okay. If destination. Well, actually, no. It's if tile list dot contains destination selection equals destination, like that. And then on exit, we can just make sure that we don't select anything. I have unanswered questions about how this will all work, but one step at a time. So because there's actually different ways that I could have implemented this. I could do this, which is good for control stuff. But I might also want to combine it with a visual system, in which case using a view might have been better because the view could handle the same thing. What's nice here is that we block the input, so we can use the keyboard controls in this mode. So maybe a combination of the two is really what we'll end up with, which can be a bit messy, but sorry. Yeah, a bit tricky. Just because at the moment there's no clear way to communicate the tile list to the system. We can kind of hack it in real quick just to renderer. Because what we can do here is basically go parent.top.store.subscribe. Selection is equal to parent.top.store.state selection. Like that. And then for tile in selection, tile width, tile height, PAL 10. Like that. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of bugs here real quick. Oh yeah, there's no actual way to get into that mode. Oops. Okay, so Next on the thing is this one, swap next. State. We can return a range selector state.new ctx view 3, 5, 3. That gets you a certain amount of distance, which is probably a good amount. Range selector state. Right, that's fine. Store. Is that. And now I need a reducer. Selection reducer. Which is select. Selection is equal to action tiles. Not quite there, but I don't want that anymore. I feel like I should have had other issues before now, because that should be tile.x, and that should have been tile.y. So we're entering the right state now. Tile list. System.print. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stream. I hope that you are having as good of an evening as I am. That should all be fine then, right? Because that's... we should probably put that in. Okay. Oh, it's because it's not in the reducer. How does that work now? Because I need to use the combine reducers thing, data object. File reducer is equal to store dot combine reducers log reducer and selection reducer and then I put this bit here. Now we should get both. Almost. Oh. I guess it wants a map of some kind. I've not used this for a while. I was just seeing if I could avoid having to declare this twice. Reducer. That's tricky. because I don't actually understand what it's looking for then. Does it want the reducers to be individual functions? That would be very annoying. Although it would make sense. It would make sense. Subscript must be a number. That's peculiar. Subscript. I think that the combine reducers function is a bit messed up. But it's probably that I'm just misunderstanding how it's supposed to be used because I've not used it for a long time. Oh, the actual... Aha! My directions are all messed up, but that's something. Left, right, up and down. So if I press up, that's weird, it's like a step behind. But only kind of. That's weird. Hold on. See, I don't like that it changes how the reducers are going to work. So I might not use the combine reducers thing. I just don't want to have to rewrite how the other reducer works. So because it kind of changes the way that it reads things. I guess that you'd have just, yeah, my brain doesn't. think I used this. But it means that we'll basically have weird breakages. Yeah, I'm gonna need to. I think I need to step back and rethink that one. It does some weird things if you use this combine reducer the way that I've got it here. Because I think that what you'd end up doing is basically say log open is like that. Log open. And then this would be action mode. And then I have to go to the scenes, no, the views status bar, log open, log open, and you basically have to change the way that it is organized slightly to be open and close, which is probably better in the long run. It does break that though, which is interesting. Ah, there we go. Okay. So that was that. Interestingly, that one's doing something different here. So destination. Oh, it's because I'm updating that afterwards. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Interestingly, I can go sideways. That's a bit odd. Oh, yeah, I remember now. So you get the, it's basically, yeah, so that, oh, that's interestingly asymmetrical. Manhattan. It wasn't quite drawing the correct diamond shape. And it still isn't. It's doing it. You see, it's only 2 in this direction, but 3 in this direction. Oh, 2 in this direction, but 3 up here, 2 there. Now imagine if I do that, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so that's now just universally true. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So now I can select like a whole range of things. But there's no way to come back out of this state, so. Return place state.new ctx view. Because then we can go like this. Oh, I don't have a back. I guess it's probably like cancel. There we go. Okay, that is a valid selectable system. So I'm not unhappy about this. It just could look better, I think. But for that we would need a whole extra custom view layered on top. Which I think we can do, but not yet. But I'm going to stop here. This has been a pretty good stream overall. I'm quite happy with our progress today. Let's just quickly review what we got done. So we did this bit, but not the bit before it. So yeah, we got a selection system in, which involved tweaking how we handle our core scene game loop. Got the drone in there with its proper behavior. We got the window dragging going on, and we changed the solidity of things, and I think that was pretty good. I'll probably try and get that item stuff working tomorrow and make a start on procedural generation for the levels. I should also be streaming tomorrow, so please come by the stream if you enjoyed it today. Yeah, otherwise, have a good evening. Goodbye.